I feel like mostly I'm, trying to work on me, and then, kind of kicking in, working on her as I'm feeling capable. So we'll see where we're at, but I'm feeling more comfortable.
Good. Good.
And she seems more comfortable, and probably because I'm not being quite as, a hard case, because I'm probably letting more things go.
Yeah.
She's, more relaxed and happy about it. So
right. You tend to position and stay there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not really,
Yes.
It's not like you're imposing really, or you're making the horse. You just, it's just something you learn to do to sort of probably stabilize horses that you are riding. So it's changing from that idea to the receiving of the energy and allowing it to come through you more than you having to be there for the horse to prevent it from, falling apart.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been it's going to be a very, very cool journey. Like you said, just those habits that I got into that I never questioned and never educated any further. And it'll be great to change those into something more effective.
And one thing to remember is that everything you're doing is human nature. Like every undesirable thing you're doing isn't a decision you're making in your mind to ride that way. It's just what your body does. So it's important to remember that.
Something you said last week that I just loved was when you said, because I said that, geez, my natural instinct just wants to do the exact wrong thing. And you said, right, and the horse does too.
Right.
I loved hearing that. I mean, I just was like, oh, sometimes I view it as they're doing wrong.
Right.
And that's not the right attitude to have, or the right judgment. It's how to help you learn how to do something that might feel hard and uncomfortable at first. Just like me. I mean, what I'm doing. Yeah.
You got it. You hit the nail right on the head. The difference between you and her is I can explain it to you.
Yes.
The horse, you have to show them consistently enough that becomes their normal.
Yes, exactly. So I loved that.
Yeah, it's a super important thing to remember. And it's also why it's hard. Because you're going against your natural instincts. The horse is to learn different, everyone's going to learn different reactions. And, that takes patience and time. Once you have it, you have it. I mean, that's for sure. You know what I mean? It's like, then you're working on other things. You're working on mobilization or strengthening or lifting or whatever it is you're doing, to progress. But everything is built on, the horse learning to turn without falling in, and the rider learning to absorb in the weight in the hips and not brace against the motion. Yeah. Oversimplification, but I think every single one of us fits into that peg. We all have different stuff. You do one thing, I do another. You know what I mean? Tracy does another. Everybody has their things. And the deal is that once you learn what your things are, well, first you have to solve them. You have to change them, make them different. And then, but much like the horse, those tendencies still want to creep in, So once you get it down to, okay, I have three things I do. When I push with my left leg, I shorten it, and I lift my right shoulder and elbow slightly going left if the horse is having trouble. And going right, I need to remind myself to pull my right shoulder back because the horse doesn't want to be in that position. Those are my three things that I still, to this day, when I ride, every day, every ride probably, I check those things to make sure they're in the right spot. So you're at the point where you just have to figure out what those things are, and then you sort of put them on a loop in your head to change them.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and then it becomes normal. And the cool thing about it is that the horse gives you a nice feel when you get it. And that's really what trains you. Otherwise you would always need me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm just the translator, the guy, the one who's standing on the ground saying, okay, this is what's happening. Because when you're on the horse as a human, what you think is happening isn't always what's happening.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a huge part of the problem.
It is.
And sometimes what you think isn't happening is happening.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably more likely. That's probably more likely. I mean, I've got plenty of people like, no, I'm sitting in the middle, and you take a picture and you show it to them. They're like, oh, because really their brain really thought they were in the middle.
Yes.
That is middle to them. So
yes.
Yeah, figuring that
there's a reason
out.
that they're there.
Right. Right. Oh yeah. I mean, and once you know it's happening, once you can objectively look, and that's where like video and pictures are really, really good, because it's like, oh crap, there it is. And then your brain stops going, well, that's not happening. And your brain starts going, oh, right, that's what's happening. And it's those two things that are important. They're both just as important, to understand and see it, and as well as learn to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's telling us it's time to get moving.
She's like, what are we doing? Standing around here talking.
I know. She's like, and I can't even hear the other person.
She's going to think I'm crazy.
Right? Oh.